and heal?
Okay, we're broadcasting now. Yes, you can. The person says, "Do you wish to leave the meal table now to have resting and healing?" And if the wise one can see you, do you wish to have your resting and healing interrupted for that?
I don't mind if mine's interrupted. I don't know about the other guys. They kind of need it.
And do you wish to leave the table now to gain some resting and healing?
No,
Yeah.
I'll look at it the whole group.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think if we're gonna have another engagement, we got to be prepared.
Okay. So your friendly guide takes you back to your rooms, asks you to wait there, and he'll arrange for a healer to come to tend to your needs. So
Thank you.
about 5 or 10 minutes, a gentleman with long robes comes in. He's a bit of old guy. He's leaning on a stick. He's got a young boy who seems to be leading him with a lantern. The funny thing is there's light coming out of the lantern, but you can't see a light bulb or a flame. You can just see this floating ball of light inside the lantern.
It's that magic stuff. I don't trust that magic stuff, but
You know, we have
obviously
been
it
to
works.
hell.
So what happens next is the gentleman asked to be ushered over to the person who is most damaged, who is most hurt.
I'll point to the three of them.
The young boy informs the gentleman, it would seem, sir, that these three people, and he starts leading them over to the lady first, to Dark Maiden, to Basilica first. And the gentleman puts his hands on you, and he moves his hands along some of your skin, Basilica.
All right.
And he says, "Have you been burnt, or is this your natural form?"
And I don't remember. I'm not sure how to answer that question.
Dark Maidens and the
He seems
hangout.
here now, so where you go, Dark Maiden? What do you want to say?
Maybe a mic's not on?
Yeah, can't hear you yet.
I think mine's on now.
Yeah.
Oh,
Bloody flies.
Yeah, I didn't realize that my
that's all cool.
the mic was hooked to something else. Like I was saying. So y'all didn't hear me say good morning.
No, but good
No.
morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
And to you, and question to the the man, dude. Yeah. This is kind of normal for me.
Are you in pain? He says.
Looks down at herself.
Mhm.
I don't think so. Mainly because Dark Maiden doesn't remember if she was hurt for
I
anything.
think you're on 1 hit point.
Yeah. Oh, right. Yeah.
You've been that way for like hours.
Days. Well, yeah, I'm kind of hurt.
Oh, is that from when I clocked her in the back of the head?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
jeez.
Yeah.
But
It
I
wasn't a
think
bad guy.
I think in game terms that was like 6 hours ago.
Yeah, pretty much. Okay, this gentleman digs under his robes and produces several vials. He opens them and smells them, and then he puts his little finger in one of them and tastes it. And then he hands it over to you and says, "Drink this. This will take a short while, but you will be fully healed."
Takes a sniff.
It smells of rosemary. It's quite a sort of a herby, sweety smell.
Okay, I guess. She sticks her tongue into it.
Oh, it's only a very small vial. You can only just fit your little finger down it, sort of thing. So yeah.
Okay.
Unless she has an oddly shaped tongue, which she may do, I don't know.
It can get pointy, but
Yeah.
if it's a thin vial, not that pointy.
Right?
No, she's not my sister then. I swear my sister has a lizard tongue.
I will not say anything on that. She pours a little bit on her tongue.
Okay. It actually tastes very nice, of rosemary, and there's some other taste that sort of has a very deep, beautiful, sweet, earthy flavour to it. Not a sickly sweet, but quite a wholesome sweet, if you know what I mean. You know how honeysuckle sweet, honey sweet.
Yes.
Yeah.
She goes, shrugs, and drinks the rest of it.
Okay. Right, he gets taken over to the next person. Who's the next person that he's going to be seeing? Would that be G-Girl?
I suppose so.
Okay, so he asked you, have you been hurt? You suddenly realise this guy's blind.
And I say, okay, let's see. Yeah, I described where I got hit because I actually don't remember either.
Okay, and how you got hit? How you got hurt?
The massive explosion.
No, remember she whacked herself on the ground real hard.
Hold on,
Like-
was it the ground?
Yeah, you pump that gravity like gravity 9.
Yeah, and
And you
I
let
was
go
like,
of
okay,
you.
now I know how it feels.
Yeah.
Oh, against the snack. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it was called.
Okay, so you give him as full description as possible. Is that what you're saying, G-Girl?
Yeah, she'll go into the description. Yeah, it's basically.
Okay, so yeah, he puts his vials away and he says, this will be different. Could you guide my... He's talking to the young... He's like he's talking to you, but he's actually talking to the young boy because he actually, when you put your hand out, he says, please guide my hand to where you're hurt. The young boy starts, you get it, and he sort of pulls his hand back. No, I meant my young acolyte. And so he's
okay.
He says, before my hand goes there, do you have any problems with me touching you?
You are a professional, I assume. So
Yes.
I see no issue with
Very
it.
well.
And
Very
I'm
well.
using my $5 words with it too.
Yep.
Because
All good.
he can.
So he holds you basically around the sternum area. He starts to speak in incant and lower in tone, and there is like this burst of light and energy that crackles around his arms and hands that then spreads through you, and it's an extremely unusual feeling, is all I can say. It's not a bad feeling. It's...
Well, it depends on how it makes her feel. You know, she might get all tingly from being touched like that.
Yeah. You do sort of feel tingly, but what you also see is quite remarkable, because you see your skin, the bruises and the bleeding healing, removing itself, like an accelerated healing is what you'd call it, almost a regenerative thing, but how he's doing it with this incantation thing is just beyond you. And you heal back 7 hit points.
7 hit points. Okay. And I don't remember what I was at before, to be honest.
I think you're pretty low.
My token was reset here, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, from memory, after the explosion and after the ground collapsing, I think you were on power points more than you were hit points.
No, she was still conscious, just. I think you might have woken up and had 1 hit point.
I think that might have been the case.
Yeah, so you're now on 8 hit
My
points.
8 hit points. All right.
Hey, then lead over to Sonic Smash.
So I'm sorry for anybody.
This is gonna be hilarious because I can't talk and he's blind.
You can't talk.
Yes, and he's blind. I'll pull out my board. All right, I was burned in an explosion. I'll point
That
to
is
the
correct.
stopper.
Yes, okay. The boy says, this person seems to be mute. And he asked you, well, he sort of looks at you, but you realize he's blind. He's asked you, is this recent?
I don't know how long I've had my powers. I'm just gonna shake my head.
As a no or a yes?
No, it's not recent.
Okay. Were you born with this?
Shake my head again.
Okay. Do you want me to heal you?
I will nod.
Very well. So he goes, he asks the boy to describe the other 8 ailments that you have. So you sort of show the boy, and the boy translates to him, he has a contusion here and a bruise here, and he looks like he has a nasty twist here, and his muscle is
burn marks.
burn marks,
Yeah,
all that
but
sort of
yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
He's
I
got
probably
30-degree
smell
burns,
the-
like first degree.
So the gentleman first lays his hands on you and does something similar to what he did to G-Girl, and he heals you 7 points. That helps some of the damage, and then he gets from his other side, underneath his robes, another set of vials, and he smells them and tastes them. He goes back, and then he holds them to the boy. The boy smells them, and he puts his finger, and he says, "The left one most, sire." And he nods and says, "Hmm." And the boy sort of looks at you, and you're sort of looking at what's this about? He says, "Oh, I'm in training. That was a test." So he then offers you the third vial. He says,
Okay, I'll
"Drink up."
take it and drink it.
Right. He says the healing will take place over the course of several hours, possibly a day or two.
Can I
And it
write on
says-
my board,
Yeah.
can I get access to your library and read your books? I assume the
He
monastery has a
says,
library of magic.
okay, the boy translates that, and he says, it has taken me many, many, many years to become the practitioner that I am. I have started with this boy. He has been under my training for the last 6 years. He has at least another 20 to go before he is ready. I don't think unless you plan to be a practitioner will have any need or use of my libraries.
I meant to like monasteries libraries.
He says, I am but the healer, one of the healers here. You would have to ask the proctor.
I sell them at work, but I just don't have one.
Okay. I guess I'll go find him then.
Okay. Rightio. So you guys, you rest. G-Girl, you were at the dinner, so you would have had something to eat if you were going to have anything. Just remember, it was all veggies.
No, I think he's talking about an out of character, like he's gone
Out
to
of
get
character,
something.
I would see. He's doing the
No,
same.
G-Girl.
Yeah, but
Oh, okay. Sorry, out of character. Sorry.
It's
I see,
Archie
I
has
see,
said
I see,
out
I
of
see,
character.
I see.
Yeah.
That's all cool. Okay, so
He's
you
doing the same
guys,
thing as me. Sharpening food right now.
rest. Yep, you rest. And you fall asleep. It is several hours. Just let me see how many several. Okay, 6 hours later. Basilica, you wake up and you're feeling kind of itchy.
Itchy?
Itchy, yeah, like all over.
I will start to scratch.
It's the pox.
Your skin starts to peel off.
Ah!
And quite a lot actually. But the fascinating thing is, after you get rid of that skin, you look under it, and there's like this really pure pink skin under it.
What happened? What? Chico!
Hey, G-Girl, you're awoken by Basilica screaming in your ear. You wake up. There's a whole lot of flaky stuff settling off her on you. You're not quite sure what it is. Then you suddenly realize it's parts of her skin, just flakes of skin. Not super thick, but you know, like if you had a really heavy sunburn.
Remember, G-Girl's not. He's away from the keyboard.
Rightio. Okay, the rest of you probably would also be awake at this screaming right now. Basilica's looking rather shaken.
I'm melting! I'm melting!
And Basilica, when did you get such a lovely set of blonde locks?
Wait a minute.
Say what?
That would be wrong. On so many levels.
Mm-hmm. Well, you have around about a good set of hair on your head. It's all blonde, tousled, about a foot and a half long.
Did she have hair before?
Well, she hid it from you guys. You've never really seen what color her hair is, but she seems to think that this is wrong.
Mm.
Why do I have blonde hair? Why do I have blonde hair?
Why do I have hair?
Why do I have hair? Why don't I just go run off and see if I can find a monk or a healer or something like that to tell us what's going on.
Okay, you do come across someone walking the hallways.
So
He
I need
shushes
some
you
help.
and asks you to calm down. Talk in low tones, please. Brethren are sleeping. What is your problem?
We've got a situation. Apparently, one of my friends is screaming and her skin's flaking. And apparently, she's saying she's got weird hair now.
Oh, well, he comes along with you immediately. He walks in and goes, I'm sure she'll be all right. He puts a light into the room because you don't have a light. He lights one of your torches off his lamp. Can you please roll me a 2d6, please, Basilica?
2d6, you said?
Yeah. That's an... Oh, okay.
Ooh.
Right, that is your new charisma.
What?
That is your new charisma. You no longer have your weakness.
What do you mean panicking for nothing?
You have a look in a polished metal surface, which suffices as a mirror around here. You sort of initially don't recognize the reflection. On closer inspection, it is you under there, but it is you a lot more prettier than you've ever seen yourself.
Nice roll. What happened? Looking. Oh well, G-Girl's not back yet.
Yeah.
Well, I'm
So
back.
you sort of,
Oh, there you
I
are.
just don't know if I'm actually at the scene because I
Mhm.
figured I would.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you missed. He was describing something to you.
yeah. So Basilica woke up. She was itching. She started scratching. Her skin started to peel off. She rushed over to you, asked what happened. You woke up, suddenly realized it was skin peeling off like a really, really bad sunburn. Then
Oh,
she
kind of
got
like in the craft.
she got really confused because suddenly she realized she had long hair, about a foot and a half. Now there's light in the room. You can see that she's got long blonde hair, and she looks quite nice. Not knockout gorgeous, but quite nice. And Basilica doesn't seem to recognize her own reflection.
Wow, what a difference.
What do you mean? What a difference! Look at me. What happened? I mean, it's. But I was.
You are
What's going
complaining
on?
that you are complaining about your physical appearance not being the way it was before.
Well,
And someone might tell her she's still shedding all over the floor, by the way.
Come, why don't you go ahead? Why don't we see about having them draw a bath for you?
But what happened? I mean,
Shh. Calm down. Shh. Calm.
So you two go
Think
off and
about
have
it
a...
rationally.
Yeah. So you two go off and you help her wash and get rid of all the flakes of blackish, odd-coloured skin she might have had before. You're not sure. Basilica, you've got normal skin as far as you can tell. All over your body, as far as you can tell.
well, if I'm taking a bath, I'm definitely going to be able to tell.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. I punched my arm.
Ouch.
I grab G-Girl, shaking her really hard.
Yeah.
Why hammer?
Oh man. Maybe it's a side effect of what they did. I bet if you give it some time, you'll probably regenerate back.
Well, I hope so. I mean, that keeps me from being, hurt. As she keeps shaking you. I want my armor back.
Okay, Mr. Cowardly Lion, you want to give it a second and relax? Oh no, I'm so afraid. Give it a break, relax.
She's
We'll
not
find out
afraid.
soon enough,
She's
won't we?
hysterical. There's a difference.
Yeah, she's definitely hysterical. Okay, we'll move back into the other room.
She's
Sonic
also
Smith,
14.
Yeah, she is 14. Oh god, yeah. Puberty.
G-Girl's like 15, but then again, she's super smart.
Well, smart. Okay, guys. So sometime during the night, the other two get back. They're still talking, and I'm guessing don't really get. Well, G-Girl, you don't seem to get much sleep because Basilica's insistent on trying to get over her disbelief about what's happened, and she keeps on trying to grow him up, grow him up. It's not working. It's not working, G-Girl. It's not working.
You know what? Your power could be being suppressed because of your hysteria.
That's a good one.
So, you know what I would advise you right now?
Go to sleep.
Go to bed, because you're not gonna sleep comfortably. I will stay here with you, and we'll get through this. Oh, so help me! Don't make me smack you and say snap out of it.
No, it's when I have to slap people around the face and say snap out of it. There's a problem.
Okay, so Ice Rider could be earplugs. It's just so I don't know, but okay, rightio. So this superhero is a bit of a lech, huh? Okay, the morning comes.
I'm
Basilica.
a kid, you perv.
She is. You still haven't grown your armor back. You feel much more comfortable in your new skin, but as in not itchy or anything, but it's just skin. Nice skin, but skin.
Oh, I'm so confused. This is the last time I drink something that says it's gonna heal my wounds.
Mm-hmm. Well, your wounds are all totally healed. Actually, even that scar you got as a little kid on your left knee, it's completely gone.
This is so unfair.
Wait, can she still spit?
What?
Nothing. Sorry.
That's right. I heard it says he wakes up and say, "Can you still spit?"
Do that spitting move.
I spit at him.
Okay. He gets a bit of saliva on him.
Make him chill out. Make him chill out. Make him relax.
But were you trying to actually spit at me, or did you just spit on me?
It's gone! It's gone! No, this can't be real! This can't be happening to me! Pulling at my blonde locks. Please tell me this is not permanent. Please. Ah, my powers. They're gone, my God. Ah!
Okay, and with that, I think Basilica will fall unconscious and faint.
Okay, so no need for me to smack her out of it?
I guess not.
Okay, Sonic. You walk in. What would you say if you could say anything? What are you thinking?
Why is she on the floor?
Yeah, so Sonic walks in and sort of looks at her and goes, "Why is she on the floor?"
That looks
And
really,
then sort of
really
realizes he's just spoke.
As I'm lifting her up to the bed, She fainted.
Yeah, but the look on Sonic's face when he realized he's just spoke.
Yeah, I'm immediately gonna try to bring up my shield.
Yeah, and
Do you want me to try
Just
to
to see
hit
if it
you?
works.
See if it works?
No, I just wanted to see if I could activate it.
no,
Are
but
you
you might have
bringing up
sealed
your
your pants.
shield or taking a dump?
Yeah. No, it doesn't seem to have worked.
Your turn to panic.
Crap. These guys are terrible healers. I just wanted my burns healed.
But you're looking handsome.
You know, this is just.
You can't tell
making
that
me-
under the goggles.
I mean, does my gravity power still work?
Yep.
All right.
Well, it's 10.
Well, that's not fair.
I wish I had access to that freaking. I gotta figure out what happened to her.
Right. You hear a gong, which is the call to dinner, breakfast, if you want to go.
I guess
Yeah.
I'll get her ready.
Right. Are you dressing her in front of all the gentlemen? Oh, and the pervert?
Pedophile.
She's laying on the
Get
floor
it right.
naked because my character would have just walked straight back out if he saw that.
Oh, okay, sorry. Okay.
No, I'll wait for him to leave. For her sake.
Okay. Rightio. Well, those of you who are leaving for breakfast, head off to breakfast. And the two ladies, I guess, are staying in there getting ready. Okay, you meet the brothers. They're all very quiet, and you sort of get the message that they don't expect anyone to speak right now. There's someone in the corner that seems to be chanting something as the rest of them eat. This is definitely not the fare of last night. This is sort of very gruelish sort of meal, very basic.
Soup.
Or eat. You hear the clacking
Right.
of wooden spoons on bowls, the serving of liquids and that sort of stuff. There's food. That's about it.
I'll sit down to eat, but I'll be looking around for the healer while I'm doing it.
Mm-hmm. As you're just about to finish up, the
Did we
healer
kill
sort of-
anything overnight?
Do you what, sorry?
I was asking if we healed anything overnight.
Oh, you hear your normal amount overnight, yes. That's
Yeah,
it.
your healing rate, is it rounded up or down?
It's a percentage. So you either, if it's like 1.2, there's a 20% chance, I'll roll it, that you heal an extra 1 hit point. So what's your chance?
1.8.
Okay, so there's an 80% chance. All I've got to do is 80 or less, and you get an extra hit point, so you'll heal 2.
And I'm 0.9.
And today, you've healed 2.
Cool.
Or last night, rather. Sorry, Archie?
0.9.
Oh, dear. Okay, here we go. Yep, you heal 1.
Yay!
Anyone else with a point something on their heal rate?
Yeah, I'm just trying to find it on my sheet at the moment.
Oh, okay. Sonic.
Which character is yours again?
Sonic.
Sonic Smash.
Heal rate, trying to find it. Good God, where is it? Hit mod.
Heal rate is 1.6 according to what's on the sheet. His sheet.
Okay.
Yeah,
0.6.
healing rate.
Okay, so you got 1 hit point back, plus, if I get 60 or less. Yep, you healed 2 hit points back.
Okay, 10 HP. Not worth the loss of my powers, mind you.
No. As I said, towards the end of your meal, the healer is brought in with the young guy. The young boy looks at you and smiles and sits down and gets food for his mentor.
If
start
Sonic
eating.
Smash makes any sudden movement, I'll try to stop him. And remind him that be a bit more
I
slow
don't make any
around the
sudden
place.
moves. I don't have powers to kill him with.
Okay, so you guys eventually finish your meal. What are you doing?
I get up and walk over to the healer, and I'm just gonna ask him, was it healing meant to take away my powers?
And the old guy says, "Who's that?"
Very direct.
And the young guy says, "That was one of the people you healed last night, and the new people." Oh, well, we can't talk here. This is meant to be time of quiet. I will see you after I finish my meal.
So rude.
So he takes about another 20 odd minutes and walks out with you somewhere, and they just stop mid corridor, and he says, "So what were you asking? Something about powers."
If your healing took away my powers instead of just taking away the burn damage.
You didn't
Are
tell
you-
me you had any powers.
I didn't think it was relevant.
Well, obviously, young man, it was. But at least you have your voice back.
I find that a poor exchange.
Really. Speech is golden, but silence is silver. Or something like that, he says, I've heard. He says, very well, I will investigate further. Did anything happen to the young lady? Or
Her skin flaked off, and I don't know.
is she alive?
Yeah, she's alive. Looks more normal now.
Oh, well, then the potion did what it was supposed to do.
Yeah, but now she's in her. She has abilities also. Her natural ability was her ability to absorb damage through her dense skin, which is no longer dense.
No.
And she can't spit anymore.
No, she can still
He
spit.
says, you know,
So I
if
can
someone
spit.
says that to him, he'd say, well, that's a rather repugnant thing to do, isn't it?
Yes, I would agree.
He says, let me do some research. Just for now, rest and heal fully, more fully. So, with that, he sort of turns and starts to leave unless someone's going to ask him to do anything else or tell him something. Okay, he goes.
I'm dumbfounded. I forgot what I was going to say. But don't worry about it. It's not important.
Okay, so you guys spend the next couple of hours just wandering around looking at the place. There is a large library that you do find, and it holds tomes and scrolls and things. However, there's an area where you have tables of which what you take to be possibly librarians. They seem to get requests. They bring the book out. They actually are the ones that hold and turn the pages and all that sort of stuff. Whereas there's other people around and they just read stuff. So it's only the librarians who can seem to touch these things.
I'll
I
go
mean,
in
there's
and
several
ask
of them
if
that like
they've got any-
scribing stuff and all that sort of stuff from them. So, yeah.
I'm gonna ask them if they have any books on magics or psionics.
Okay, so the one of the what you take to be a librarian sort of raises his eyebrows. He says, "This is a school of magic."
Excellent.
Is it not a redundant question? Most of these treaties behind me are various findings, workings, and spells from many, many wizards and witches and warlocks.
Is there anything on getting back lost magical powers?
Many different sorts. If I could just see your guild papers, please.
What's a guild?
Very well, then unfortunately you will not be able to access the library.
I'll just shrug and walk off.
Anyone else doing anything else?
Hmm. I'm really concerned for Basilica. I wanted to see if I could talk with anybody, so maybe I could understand how they went about doing what they did.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
As much of curiosity as anything else.
Okay, so you talk to several people about the healer's ways. So they talk about apothecary, they talk about herbology, they talk about the healing magics, positive energy. Nothing makes sense to you. I mean, anything that's based in reality would be probably the herbalism and the apothecary. Some of the basic ideas about sulfur, things that are like act as sort of very low-level disinfectants or cleansers, that sort of thing. But like, that's the sort of level of your understanding of medical science. Otherwise, it's this concept of magic which becomes really, unless you can come up with a way of sort of understanding it, it's like you trying to speak French and us trying to speak Sanskrit.
All right. It's not like I have speed reading that I could go ahead and.
Yep.
But you know what? I got to give it a shot for Basilica's sake.
Mm-hmm.
Is there some beginner's books that I could look
I'll
for?
be right back, guys.
Okay.
So I can understand what you're doing.
Well, you go to the library, you ask for your guild papers.
Well, this isn't for me. This is for my friend.
Do they have guild papers?
No.
You need to, this is the second person today, you need to, I don't know how you get through the security, you need to, this person says, have guild papers in order to access the resources of this guild. Do you have any idea what you've got to do to get guild papers?
I'm a traveler, and I'm not familiar with your ways here.
Right. Well, then I suggest, and he hands you a scroll. You read this. I take it you can read.
Yes, that's not sure if the language that you're using is the same as ours, but we can take a look.
Right. Take this, read this, and then do what you have to do. And if you are accepted and get guild papers, then I will welcome you to the resources of the library.
Well, thank you. It's most appreciated.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry to have disturbed you.
Mm-hmm. So he goes back and does something. You're not quite sure. Busies himself or something.
Can I actually read it?
Okay, you unfurl it. The language is similar. So all I'm going to ask is no points or anything, but I need your now standard inventing point percentage. What is it?
All right. My inventing point percentage is normally 63.
Normally 63 without penalty.
Yeah. With penalty is 93.
Okay, well, a 4 is going to be fine. You spend most of the afternoon trying to decode and decrypt and translate, and you get what you feel is a relatively accurate transliteration of what's on the document. So what you gather from this, and you sort of get interrupted halfway through this when you're talking to the group, to become a guild member, you have to first go through a test to prove that you have some ability. Once you can prove that ability, you are then given a 3-month preliminary membership in the guild. What that means is that they want to see how well you study, how well you do things. In that time, you are allowed to access the library, but there are many places of the library that are out of bounds until you gain first tier on the guild membership. So you're only probationary. So
I don't think I'm going to be here that long.
Mm-hmm. But what? All you got to do is join the guild, and you've got probation, so you have some access.
Yeah, that's still a lot of paperwork.
No.
All I really need is access.
Yeah, all you got to do is go somewhere and get someone to test you for ability, and then you're away.
All right. Well, I will go ahead and make an inquiry regarding how I go about
Okay, well, you're told, as you start to get up to go and make an inquiry, your friend from the day before comes in and says, the master will see you now.
are my compatriots.
Yep, everyone's there. You're all together.
All right.
Just to meet the sage.
Mm-hmm.
Well, good. I've been waiting all day for this.
Right.
Take my paperwork and let's go.
Rightio. So all of you go off to meet this guys? That was a question, guys. Does everyone go?
Yeah, I am.
Yep. Okay.
Definitely.
Rightio. So you all rock up to the audience chamber. You're shown in. There are some comfortable chairs with pillows on them. He's sitting on a very comfortable large chair. There's people scattered around. You are sort of in a semicircle in front of him, around about 15 feet away from him. He gestures for you to sit. His outsider comes to you and says, and what question do each of you wish to pose the master?
Actually, hold on. Didn't we actually attempt to figure out what it was that we were going to ask? Because I don't recall what we were talking about in regards to this.
You just wanted to talk to him to try to find out how to get the hell out of here, I think.
Yeah, we're trying to find a way to heal that portal.
Uh-huh.
And work our way back to our own world.
All right. Do you want me to? Should we let Basilica ask her question? Because she's probably got one for herself, but I got one I can just blow right now.
Well, he's waiting for someone to tell him what your question is.
Go ahead.
Is there a way back to Terra? Or the place you call Terra, our home?
You get a puzzled look on the old guy's face, and he says, "Of course."
See,
So
you need
the
to
guy
be more
waits a few
specific
seconds,
next time.
and he says, "And who has their question next?"
Okay, so I guess the next question would be, where is the path that we need to go to get back to our home?
He says, "You simply have to turn around and retrace your pathway."
All right, do you have any other questions, guys?
Okay, the rest of you. If the guy asks for anyone else to ask their question.
I'll motion towards Basilica and be like, how can me and my comrade get our powers back?
So he actually thinks about this. Before I answer this, he says, "I have a question of you and your comrade. What are you willing to do to get your powers back?" So either you or Basilica can answer right now.
I will complete any task that doesn't involve the harming of innocents.
Very well. And Basilica, are you back, Dark Maiden? Not yet. Okay, we'll have to ask her. But based on her answer, that is somewhat similar to yours, and all agree to probably say something. There you are. The question was just asked, Dark Maiden, you're seeing the wise old one, and Sonic Smash has asked, how can we get our powers back? And he posed the question to both of you, how important is it to you, or something like that you get your powers back? Sonic Smash, what did you say in return?
He asked me what I did to get my powers back. I said anything that didn't involve the harming of innocents.
And Basilica, he's waiting for you to give an answer as well.
How important is it to get my powers back?
Hmm.
Kind of really?
No, sorry,
I
no, I said,
mean-
what are you prepared to do? Sorry, what are you prepared to do to get your powers back?
Anything. I mean, how can I
Anything.
save the world
Right,
if I
as soon
don't
as
have
you
my
say anything,
powers?
he just takes that as the answer. He says, very well. What you can do, a mission will be given to you if you are successful. Your powers or abilities will be realized.
I look at him really skeptically when he phrases it like that.
Mm-hmm. He looks back at you and winks at you. Is anyone else? So the guy comes along to ask Centurion and Basilica. So Centurion, Basilica, the questions that have been asked so far. Ice Rider asked. Where you go, Ice Rider? What was your question?
How do we get back to our home terror?
No, you said,
Oh,
is
no,
there a way?
Is there a way?
Can we?
Yeah.
Yeah. And he said, of course. Then Jigo asked,
How?
what is the way to get back? He said, simply turn around and go back the way you came, sort of thing. Then Sonic Smash asked his questions, so he's waiting for you and Centurion to ask your questions.
Well, we've broken our portal home. We need a way to fix it. I don't know. I'll let it up.
The problem is I have no idea what's going on.
But
Well, you've heard all this.
when we were in the limbo area, and I wanted to go where I needed to go to get home. It brought us here. Now, how could getting home mean going back?
He looks at you. He looks at you and says, by simply going back through the portal that brought you to the limbo area from your place of existence. Centurion, you're the last one.
But wait, that got blown up by somebody.
Centurion?
Alright. See, this is the problem. I have no idea what the hell has happened.
When we went back...
But wait a minute, that wasn't my question.
No, I'm trying to explain to Andy what happened because he wasn't here last time. I forgot he wasn't here last time. Yeah, we found a portal we think would take us back.
Yeah.
But Jigo went into the portal first with the box and cracked it, basically. And so Basilica found a portal that could potentially help us get back home. And she sent us here.
Right. So I've got two possible questions that we could ask then, but it will all depend on whether or not the first one or the second one is going to be more prevalent. Is it better, like, this is just purely to Ice Rider, is it going to be better that we ask how we fix the broken portal to our homeworld, or is it better that we, ask, how do we exactly find the portal to our homeworld? Other than probably the second one, how do we fix it? It's probably better.
I don't know. I blew my one. I should have just went straight up. How do we fix a portal? Yeah. But because I thought there may have been another portal here, but I think we just have to find a way to fix that portal.
Right. Right. How do we? My question then will be, how do we repair the portal to our homeworld?
With the Star of Menacles. Says.
Okay, does that make any sense to me?
Doesn't make any sense to anyone.
Did anybody?
You have information. That is
I have a
good place to start.
question. I have a question.
Well, yeah.
What is the place that we came from? The place with all the doors that we ended
So
up
the
in?
gentleman who was talking to you says, "I'm sorry, but your audience has finished."
Mm,
But
We're gonna redo in another
yeah,
couple of days.
we only got one question each.
But I didn't ask a question yet.
You haven't asked a question yet.
No.
Okay, if you haven't asked a question yet, then you can ask a question.
And that was my question.
Is what?
Her question was how what is that place that the place with all the doors? What is it and how did we end up there? Why did we end up there?
Okay. The
And what was
elderly
that
man
box
says,
that no longer exists?
your
One
first
question.
question.
They ask
What
questions.
is that place? That place is a nexus. It is a set of intersecting corridors that connects different worlds to different worlds, but it is a place that exists outside of each world's universe. We call it the Corridor of Doors.
Catchy name.
Right. Okay. Somebody's going to need to go and prove to these guys that we've got some kind of power behind us to gain access to the library now. We've at least got a name for something that we've got to find to get home.
Yes.
Okay, so you guys get up and leave. Shortly thereafter, Sonic Smash, you and Silica are handed a scroll. And basically just instructed that should you wish to complete this, then you will be given access to what you require to how do I put this? He says he uses the same word as the other guy did. I can't remember what I said, but he uses that word.
Realize our powers?
Yes, your powers will be realized.
I don't trust that wording, eh?
I'll admit I'm gonna miss the pink skin and all, but can't be a superhero without
I guess
your
I'll open
ability.
up the scroll.
Yep.
Well, the gentleman gives you
a couple of years, I will be able to figure out something. I'm sure.
Yeah, the guy gives as you say that before he walks off, he says, just turns to you, Basilica, and says, "Why?" And then he turns away and moves on.
She scratches her head as she is unsure of which why he's asking.
Okay, so you've got a scroll there,
Alright, she opens it.
Sonic Smash and Basilica.
Open it.
You can't open it by yourself.
Okay, we both open it.
The seal undoes itself and it opens
And I'm
up.
not in magical shenanigans.
Well, you come from a reality that has some of that aspect, yeah. So you have a bit of understanding about how some of the stuff works. Okay, so this is bound sympathy magic that you're dealing with. So this binds both of you to this mission, and it states that should you agree, what you both need to do is place your thumbprint at the bottom of this page. It says that you need to travel to where the Dark Parliament sit and retrieve the Orb of Iris.
Okay. This is going to be really hard if I don't have any powers.
It really is.
Did they have to do it all by themselves?
That's all it says. That they have to travel to where the Dark Parliament sits and retrieve the Orb of Iris.
I'll look around and be like, willing to help, guys?
I'm always
Well, I
willing to
put my
help you
thumb
guys
down.
do it. But then
put my
again,
thumb
I
down.
can't. That scroll is probably key to you two.
Yeah, but I mean, you can get
not
us there.
us.
We just have to pick it up.
Well, we've been to hell for Centurion. Surely this bad can't be as
Literally.
bad as hell.
Well, Basilica's
You had to
already
say it.
thumbed,
You had to say it.
Basilica's already thumbed it, so she's looking at what's his name.
I'll shrug and thumb it.
Okay. The scroll then winds itself up and disappears. The two
Return to
of you, the two of you suddenly become aware of a general direction you have to head in. That's all you get. And you both agree on the direction. And you both agree on the degree of, like, it's not like 35.349 miles away, but it's a distance, a great distance away is how you two both would describe it to anyone else. And you're both sort of, it's the same sort of words you're using. You can finish each other's sentences with this.
How many days travel would it take?
They
us
have no idea, but a great distance is all they can
I
tell you.
really wish I could fly.
Well, I couldn't fly, so that doesn't change anything.
No, but you could climb.
I'm gonna miss climbing.
Yeah, so I'll suggest to them that maybe
a horse, something.
Well, it's an easy way to deal with this problem. You just combine two powers that you've got.
You know what? If we need to get somewhere, I can actually help you with that, you know.
But we don't have any powers. I don't spit. I don't have armor. Wait a minute. I haven't tried to climb anything yet. I might as well give it a shot. Can't hurt.
Okay, you climb up a column about a foot and then start sliding down. And that's never happened. You just normally just, you know, that whole sticking to building stuff. You just slide.
It's interesting. Your wall crawling abilities is tied into your skin organ.
Well, no, I climbed up a foot, so it's not completely gone.
Yeah, somebody else might want to point out to it that everyone can climb up.
Oh, well, I don't know.
Yeah. No,
Well,
you climbed up a foot, held on, and then slid down the pole.
Oh, oh, kick the pole.
Well, it could be worse.
Okay.
I look at her and I'm like, we should find some weapons so we're not completely helpless.
Hey, have you tried? Maybe if we're connected somehow, maybe we got like Wonder Twin power type thingies.
Wonder what?
I just stare at her when she says that.
Actually, Wonder Twin powers don't exist in the 60s.
Yeah, I was about to say that was the 70s.
You've read somewhere, Basilica.
It was like, yeah, she got the special scoop on some guy saying an idea.
I have an idea.
Two twins.
Hold his hand.
Yep. Do you say by Castle Grayskull? No. Okay, you hold his hand. He's a little bit sweaty with his hand.
Ew. Dry your palms. They're
And she
grody.
just
Quite
goggles
pretty,
for
by the
that
way,
jacket
Sonic
aren't
Smash.
meant for like standing on the ground. They're meant for flying at high speed.
I try spitting.
You spit on him. Just
No,
aim
that
the
didn't work.
hand, and then all of a sudden she spits in your face, Sonic Smash.
Sorry. That was an accident.
I'm gonna lick her hand to be like, I'm off to find an axe or something.
Well, what
Walk
could
off.
you do before? Well, what could you do again before you lost your powers?
I just walked off.
Hey, I'm not letting go of your hand. What could you do before you lost your powers? I forgot.
Fly, telekinesis, wrap myself in a shield, punch people really hard.
I try flying. Maybe.
Yeah, I'll try flying.
Oh,
I
hey,
snap
let's
myself
try,
into the
try flying
ceiling.
together.
Okay, guys,
try
the
flying
rest of you see these two running around trying to jump and fly.
Yeah, that,
Okay, that doesn't work. I'm looking for a horse and getting out of here.
whoa. Because there's something I... Can we speak to that other guy we first talked to?
Mm-hmm.
When we got here? Not the
Mhm.
sage, the... What do we call him?
Just call him bro number one is fine.
Yeah, bro number one.
Mm-hmm.
Can I ask him a bro number one about the Star of Menecles?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what it's called. And what it
What's
is?
it? It's a sacred relic, revered by the faith of Menecles.
Is that a good faith or a bad cult faith?
They believed in strength through protection and strength, and I guess you would call them a power for good. That, of course, was before most of them were killed, and their most holy relics were taken.
So you don't know where the Star of Menecles is? Is there a way to
There
find
wouldn't
it?
be many people who would know. You could always, if you haven't asked, you could always ask the wise one.
No, he won't answer any of my questions anymore.
Oh, you've already asked him a question.
Yeah.
Has
Anyone
everyone in your
else?
group asked that question?
No, it took all of us just to get that one answer. I was hoping
Okay,
you might...
so questioning isn't your strong point.
No.
It really is important that you might want to really cogitate and consider before you do or say anything. In this world, I do not know the world from which you come, but in this world, everything has a consequence.
Yeah.
This is a harsh world. You make a mistake, you pay for it. Sometimes quite finally.
Okay.
Sounds normal to me.
Yeah, it sounds like someone being overly pretentious.
He,
But, and I don't say that out loud.
yeah.
That's what he's thinking.
Yeah. He says he's got his own studies he has to do, but if he comes across anything, he'll certainly share the information with you. If
I'm pretty
you
good
can
at
show
research
him,
if you need assistance in your
Well, no,
research.
because we're going to be going after this orb.
an orb, he says.
No, never mind. Don't worry about it.
Well,
The orb of,
If you hear
Yeah.
anything, can you please let me know?
he will, but he will need something from you. He sort of saw you when you came in, so he's aware that you have this what he would call this power over water or cold or something. He would like to see you do it, and so he can understand how he can produce that same effect.
I don't think someone else can produce the same effect.
So you do not want to show me?
Well, you know, I put my hand out and make like a goblet out of ice.
He's very intense. He says, "Well, thank you, but I will need a lot more intensive study on that. But thank you for showing me that. May I take the goblet?
It's probably gonna melt.
But may I take it while it's in one piece?"
Sure.
Very
So it's
well.
probably gonna
And
melt.
just to show that I work in good faith, I will immediately go and see if there is anything that any other brethren here know about the Star of Menecles.
Wait, how intense is this training? Like, we're not talking about chopping legs off, are we?
He says, "What training are you talking about?"
Oh, not training. Sorry. Study of this of my
Study.
ice
Everyone
powers.
chooses their own path of study. This is
No, I meant
intense if
his-
you wish to make it.
His intense study of me.
Oh,
doing
his. He's interested in manipulating various forms of energy, and so his studies take him to that. So he has achieved, and he's quite happy to show you, I have achieved this form of control. And he takes one leg up, and then he takes the other leg, he folds his legs, and he floats about 3 feet above the ground. He says this does take intense concentrate. He slows right down. Intense concentration, but I am able to maintain this. My next quest will be to be able to move. And he slowly puts his leg down, puts the leg down, and then he stops.
You know what? I'm not gonna do nothing. I was gonna show off just to
Yeah.
do it because I know I could do it, and I'm like, nah, I'm not gonna do that. That'd be serious trolling, and to troll our freaking host would be rude.
No, you won't. Yeah. But I honestly don't know what he could learn. Like, my powers aren't something you just learn; they're more innate.
My ability to affect energy is innate, but I need to learn to refine it so that I can affect what I want. Surely you just weren't able to create a goblet like that the very first time you used your abilities. It took practice?
I don't actually remember how I learnt my abilities.
Ah, so. Well, he says, I must go away and ask my compatriots if they know anything of the star. I will get back to you as soon as I have something, or I turn up empty-handed by this evening's meal.
And
thank you again for the goblet, he says, as he walks off and looks at it, explores it, bumping into some people.
Away for days. All right, thank you.
Yeah. Okay, what are the rest of you doing?
I'm looking for a horse.
There don't seem to be any horses around here.
How do you get
And
in
how
here?
you gonna go about
really far.
Well, some people talk of a flying carpet. Some they have wands or staffs or brooms. Some people are able to create portals that allow them to travel great distances. Other people conjure up or summon forth a beast of burden. You know, just the usual ways, he says.
Oh, well, of course. How foolish of you not to think of that, huh?
I'm more worried about food.
I'm going to try something.
I could always try to fly you guys, but the problem is that well, out of characterly, I'm down to my last inventing point until the next level.
Yep, but you know how to negate gravity, don't you?
Yeah. My thing is that I don't know.
Knows how to create an ice sheet that would be able to hold everyone who weighs like an ounce, and he can move ice riding.
No, I'm like a half movement when I'm ice riding.
Well, if I'm going to be stuck like this, I might as well learn how to do magic. I asked somebody, okay, where do I go to learn how to do magic?
You get one of these scrolls. You end up getting on probation, and after about 3 to 6 months, and they test you for aptitude.
Okay, so you are taken to somebody who takes you outside into one of the first courtyards, and he stands there and says, "Well, show me an ability you have."
Her shoulders slump.
She what?
Her shoulders slump.
I was asking
she. Oh, wait a minute. Is she talking to me or him?
The man is talking to you.
Her. Okay.
He says, "I'm sorry, but teenage angst is not an ability."
Okay.
I tried to telekinesis him in the face.
Okay, you imagine it happening, but god damn it, nothing happens.
I'm going to try and think about what I did in what do they call it? The corridor of doors thingy?
The corridor of doors.
Okay. Or more to the point, think about how, all the books I've ever read or the TV shows, it's always about energy. So she's going to try and concentrate and see if she can harness the energy around her, because that's how magic works. It's energy, and it's just being able to concentrate and meditate. Meditating I do because I'm come from San Francisco, and meditating's a thing,
Mm-hmm.
So she kind of like sits down cross-legged and gets her Zen on.
Okay. Do you have a plot point to spend?
Oh, not like I used it on things.
I
Okay,
think she
where are plot
does.
points again?
The inventing points.
Inventing points.
Inventing points.
You have used 2 at least. That leaves you with. Hang on, what level is this character? 4th.
4.
So she has 8 because she gets 2.4 per level. So she's gained 2 new or had 2 new powers. So that's 4 points. But she had 9.6. So she's got 5.6 inventing points left.
Okay, where are they supposed to be? Because
On your sheet, you go down past your agility,
Past the movement
intelligence,
rate.
charisma. Underneath movement rates is inventing points. And that 2.4 is how much you get each level. You're 4th level, so that gives you 9.6. You've already used 4 to stunt some powers, so it leaves you 5.6.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yep.
All right. So
she's going to concentrate, focus, and do everything she can to produce some sort of effect. What sort of effect do you think she's looking for?
at this moment, well, considering it's about getting to this place she has to get to with what's his name, and since they have to go together, personal transportation wouldn't work. So it has to be something that the both of them could utilize. So she's going to try and see if she can bend space and basically open a portal to where they have to go to.
Okay. I think that's 1 off her inventing. No, that's 2 under. Guess what, Basilica? You concentrate and you feel some movement and you move your right hand, you put it in a space, your hand appears about 6 inches above, out of nowhere, and you wiggle your fingers at the guy, and there's this gap of about 6 inches between your arm and your hand. And then you quickly take it away.
I try not to panic. Try to like not show that was freaky.
He says, you do show promise. Very well. If you're prepared to take the oath, you can become a guild member on probation.
Cool, thank you. Sure, I'll take the oath.
Okay, so the oath talks about learning for the joy of knowledge. It talks about protecting the school in times of need. It talks also about owing your allegiance to whatever the wise one says has to happen. And like you don't do anything that's against the school or against any of your brethren there. It's that sort of deal. Other than that, as long as you don't break any of the rules, you can explore and experiment as much as you want to gain complete understanding and knowledge of your abilities. No one is, apart from defending the school, and if called upon by the Great One to carry out some task, to complete it to the best of your ability. Apart from those 2 things, that seems to be pretty much it.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Very well.
I'm
He
cool
takes
with
out a dagger. He cuts his arm. He hands you the dagger. He cuts his like about 3 inches above his wrist. So he just says, do not cut deep. You just need to make sure blood runs.
Okay. She does it.
Ouchie, ouchie. Then he lets his blood drip into a large sort of vessel that's beside you. He lets it drip. He says, add your blood.
Do the same thing.
Then he recites the oath which you expect it to follow. And then he says at the end of it, he says, so shall you agree on pain of death to your eternal soul.
Yeah, what you just said.
He says, repeat those words.
Oh yeah, on pain to my soul thing. Yeah.
So you do actually repeat the exact words, do you?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
Right.
She
Okay. With that, He then gives you a small band of material to wrap around your cut. He wraps around his. He does something with his fingers. He pulls off the band and his wound is healed. He welcomes you to the guild. And by
Yay!
what name
Hey!
do you wish to be called?
Basilica?
Sister Basilica it is. He
Hey, Chico!
he
I'm being
hands
sent to the
you
guild.
scrolls and he says these are some of the rules and guidelines of how we behave to keep order at the school. You're expected to follow them. Now you may go
Okay.
wherever you wish
Yay!
and do whatever you wish as long as you do not break the covenant.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Hey,
I am not
Basilica.
sir. You may call me Brother Brune.
Oh, thank you, Brother Brown. See ya.
Bye.
J-girl, J-girl, J-girl.
So
Runs off.
Basilica comes running up
Yeah,
at you
but-
with an armful of scrolls.
Oh
Look
boy.
what I got. Damn
You
it.
got sent home on detention?
No. I joined the guild.
I woke up and she sent her soul into bondage.
Thought you said it was going to be hard. It took a long time.
Well, no. I said being initiated would take you a while.
Well, now we can go to the library.
I suppose so. Well, you can.
Okay, so what am I looking for in the library?
That's a good question. I don't even remember what I was trying to look for. I think we were trying. I was going to try to do some research in relation to her problem.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess you can join the guild too. All you have to do is do something magical.
And send your soul away into servitude.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Well, no, all you gotta do is the same thing that you would normally do if you were, back home fighting bad guys. And said just do, that. It's like the Pledge of Allegiance. Without a flag.
It was
Oh,
magic.
you're talking the American thing. All right. I don't know. See, my problem. I just have a hard time believing this magic stuff.
Well, see what I could do. I'll try it again.
Okay, are you paying another plot point to make it reality?
Yeah.
Okay. So it takes a bit of concentration. This is a skill or power that's going to be built up. But basically what you see is her hand disappears and it reappears about 6 inches away from her arm, forward of her arm. You can actually put your hand through the intermediary gap and there's nothing there.
No way! You just generated an Einstein-Rosen bridge?
Yeah.
I can't do that. Oh, I'm so jealous. I kept on worrying about freaking destroying the world with it. If I do it wrong.
Oh, you gotta try. We're doing it in front of the brother guy, so he'll let you into the thing.
The thing in the WhatsApp with the who dad.
You know what? See, you know what? The funny thing, Steve. Here, I would do it right now just to prove it to myself that I could do it.
It's entirely up to you what you want to do, G-Girl.
Come on. I've never known G-Girl to back down by a chance of gaining a new power.
Except for the fact that I already spent almost all my points just doing just that very thing. All right, you know what? I want to show you up so badly. Come come on, because in her mind, this 14-year-old girl did it, and I'm old. I'm 2 years older than her. I should be able to do it.
Exactly.
So
I grabbed Jigo arm and take her to the brother dude.
But okay.
He sort of turns at you and says, "Yes, Sister Basilica."
Jigo wants to do it too.
Do what?
Join the guild.
Oh. Do you know what is required of you, G girl?
I've been made aware of it through
Very
the
well.
Sister
I will,
Basilica.
right. Well, I will spell it out. So he goes through pretty much everything he did with her, with you.
Yeah.
He says, but first of all, I need to see evidence that you have an ability.
Well, I have ability beyond what I normally do.
I don't know what you normally do. If you can show me some ability that is unusual, and I deem it an ability worthy of further study, you are able to join the guild. Show me what you can do.
Well, I guess the easiest way for me would be to go ahead and just fly with my gravity powers.
He says, if that's what you want to do, where you go.
All right, well, I'll spend the PowerPoint
I
then.
think that's
Yep. And
It
you
just
move
seems
around.
cheating.
No.
it probably
Move
looks
down,
also
he
looks
sort of says-
mundane.
he says,
You probably have a lot of
that-
people who can fly.
Yes, many people fly with various different, so you're not using, this is an innate ability in you. You're not using a device of any sort.
Correct. This is innate.
This is the only ability you have?
Well, I like to think my intelligence is my other ability, but I guess the only other thing I could potentially do would be I would ask you to go ahead and strike me.
Strike you?
Yes.
No, I cannot do that. I am forbidden.
All right,
to do
Basilica,
that.
strike me.
She is forbidden to do that.
Centurion,
I feel-
hit me.
I don't think
Hey, hit me. I get one of my friends to hit me.
that's going to impress him.
The idea behind it is that I'm not going to get phased by it at all.
I think Vine.
You're not going to get
guidance.
phased by it? Why are you not going to get phased by it?
Because the invulnerability.
That you
Field?
get from...
Oh yeah, right. It's I need her to amplify it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? Never mind.
Is there, he says, so your ability is to fly? Is there anything else you can do?
You know what? I'm
Try
gonna lift.
something really.
I'm gonna go ahead and just lift up Basilica with the negative gravity, just microgravity. I'm not trying to throw her anywhere, just to lift her up to the point.
Okay, you
Maybe
see his
something like
eyes
this.
widen, and he says, this is very interesting. Can you do anything more with that ability? I feel a sense, I can sense you're changing her gravitic attraction.
I could do it the other way too, but I don't want to hurt her.
You can increase her gravitic attraction,
Yes.
as well as lessen.
Yes.
He sends you over to a large stone, about the size of 2 horses. He says, can you make that float up?
All right. So I will go ahead and demonstrate it. Size doesn't matter. It matters not, Judge. Yeah, I think I'm channeling Yoda in my own head.
Yep.
And I'm like, I know the Star Wars didn't come out yet.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
You
So
saw
that's
the
the problem.
pre-script.
yeah. Yeah, I saw the script a
From
whole
Lucas.
15 years ahead of time. Yeah, that's it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, so
Read
yeah, I'll
his
go ahead.
college thesis.
I'll go ahead and do and take care of the rock.
Okay, so he sort of moves it with his hand and that sort of stuff. He says, astonishing. Now, can you... He asks you to put the rock back down. He gets a small metal goblet. He says, can you show me what happens to this goblet when you increase the power? to your maximum ability.
It's not important, is it?
No, I would not use it if it was going to be important.
All right. Let's see. So I'll go ahead. I will go ahead and throw the 12 G's on the goblet.
Okay, well, you can just see it crumple. He says, most assuredly you have a strange ability. I do not quite know how you do this, but you have the ability to affect gravitational energy. It would be our great pleasure and honor to invite you into the guild.
Thank you.
So
Now, I guess I prepare myself to cut myself for the first time since I've never been injured in my life.
Right. Okay, so you go through the same oath and thing as Basilica does?
Yeah, but in her case, she'll just like be wincing when she goes ahead and tries to cut herself, since she's never actually been hurt in that way before.
Okay, radio. Even when she was shaving her legs. And please don't say she never shaves her legs.
No, but I think Penelope would protect her when she shaves her legs.
Okay.
Besides that, Nair came out in the 60s.
60s, dude. 60s.
Didn't Nair came out around that time too?
I don't know.
70s.
That was in the 70s?
But I know the hippie movement was ladies not shaving their legs and all that sort of stuff. But before that time,
no,
you don't know which way
my mom would have a
goes.
fit. My mom would have her mom would have a fit if she didn't.
Yeah.
If she didn't do it. So
Only leg shaving was a status thing, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Some middle class women, things of that nature, shave their legs.
Yeah.
So it depends on your financial situation.
Yep. No,
and definitely then.
Yep. Okay. So we've assumed that we have confirmed that you are leg shaving. So anyway, important fact. Jiggle. Fun fact. I shave my legs. Anyway, but it's interesting. You guys, you fulfill your vow and that sort of stuff. You're welcomed, and he asks you and introduces himself as Brother Boone, and asks you, how do you wish to be known?
My name is Mindy.
Sister Mindy, welcome to the guild.
Really?
Thank you. Why?
Basilica.
What?
Yeah. Okay, radio. You get handed a whole sheaf of scrolls with.
What? You didn't know my name?
Sorry.
Well, of course you didn't know.
No.
At least I don't think.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever told it, people.
Actually, that's a good question. But then we'll worry about that another time.
Yep. So you quickly scope through the scrolls. What's interesting is these scrolls, as you're reading them, and this is Basilica, you didn't realize this, but as you read them, it's like they've got some sort of translational filter on them that you can read. At first you don't recognize it, and then you can read it.
Interesting.
Wow.
So yeah, there's rules about how you comport yourself, you know, da-da-da-da-da, all that sort of stuff. I'll just tell you if you're going to try to do something, and I'll say, well, you remember reading this in the scrolls.
Okay.
But you do come across your writ that you belong to the guild.
All right.
See, and you said it was going to take a long time to do that.
Never mind. I'm just telling you what the librarian told me.
Well, we're going to go to the library now.
Wait, hold on. Aren't we getting this bulb for you?
Well, that's up to you guys what you want to do, what order you want to do things in. So,
Well,
Zortesh, Sonic Smash, what have you, apart from frantically sign languaging, what else have you been doing in this time?
I've gone off to find a weapon or something so I can defend myself.
Okay. You ask around, there are various weapons. They seem to say that you need to have some ability to access their power. So they're talking more about like magical type weapons. You're talking about like a sword or something, aren't you?
A wood axe or something, a staff, anything.
Okay, you go down to the practice level, and you do find a wooden staff. No one seems to be holding on to it.
Does anyone around ask if I can take it?
Some guy looks at you and shrugs his shoulders. Sure, I don't mind.
Yeah, okay, I'll just take it then.
Okay. Rightio. It looks like it's been well used. You're not quite sure what wood it is, but it feels quite strong and quite solid. It's obviously been pounded several times. Doesn't have a crack in it or anything, but yeah, no, it seems to be a solid, wacky stick.
Nice to have a club. Excellent.
Right. Yep. How's that? From superhero to caveman in 2 easy steps.
But at least I didn't sell my soul away.
Well, that's true. Back at the library.
Well,
I guess first thing for me in the library is to look up all the information I can on this thing I'm supposed to find and the place it's supposed to be.
Okay, the Orb of Urus. So you are.
and I'll take a look at the Star of Menacles to see if I could come up with anything else.
So you are limited to what would technically be called level 2 information. So you get a bit of a history and a bit of a knowledge, understanding about the things. So the orb itself is an artifact. It was created some millennia ago. It has several main abilities that the right person can key into using. One is that if it can show true light on any falsehood, so therefore it can tell that whoever uses it can tell whether he's saying a lie or not, and a lie of omission is still a lie. It can show true form, so if you're a shapeshifter, it can show who or what you really are. So that's one of its abilities that you're aware of. Another ability of the Orb of Urus is that it is supposed to, in the right hands, be able to unlock the wisdom of Solon. You're not quite sure what the wisdom of Solon is all about. So that seems to be another thing you're going to have to try to find. But that's, at the moment, that's pretty much what you can find on the Orb of Urus. It's said to have several other more potent powers which you don't seem to have access to. The Star of Menacles. The Star of Menacles was an artifact revered by the faithful of Menacles. Menacles was an ancient deity who preached strength and unity, strength through protection of those slightly weaker who needed protection, because in good times they would then return the boon to those who might need it. So Menacles was a community type deity. What else? Menacles, it goes into a little bit about the ages and periods. So the religion of Menacles had been around for some 6,000 years. Menacles originally was apparently some normal person who had managed to gain demigodhood and then godhood, and then achieved following and became a god properly, which is quite possible apparently on this planet, you find out. And about 100 odd years ago, Menacles was one of the deities in a great battle between them and the Dark Parliament, who were making a play for control of the world. And in this battle, it is said that they unleashed something that basically captured and imprisoned Menacles. That's a bit of the history. So it doesn't say whether Menacles is alive or dead, whether it's a male or a female. It's just Menacles. But the Star of Menacles was an artifact that was given. The Star of Menacles is supposed to be able to heal lots of different things. It's also has an ability to protect. But by protect, it's less about the physical protection and more about the spiritual protection. So it talks about being possessed, that it has the protection of shielding you from being possessed. In the right hands, it can shield you from being scryed, clairvoyanced, clairaudience, all that sort of stuff. So it can interfere with some spell-like abilities as well. That's pretty much what you get. The last known position of the star Menocles was at the Temple of Menocles in the city of Arduin, and you can see you don't know where that is, but
I'm sure
at
they
the
got an
fall
atlas
of the
somewhere.
temple, at the fall of the temple, it is not sure where it is, and the Dark Parliament was responsible for the fall.
I'm assuming I'm writing this down since
Um,
I don't have Penelope to write it down for me.
Okay, so you'd ask someone to scribe some pertinent information. There's like, yeah, yeah. So you get I mean, this is all level 1 stuff, so they can write all that down. It's the higher up stuff that starts to get censored. But yep.
All right.
Anything else you guys are looking for?
Yeah. I forgot. In an ensuing time, there was something about the thing that you said that I wanted to look up, and I'm trying to remember what it was.
About the orb or about something else?
No, about the orb.
It
started with a C.
Okay, well, the orb's power, it can reveal untruths, if you like. It is said to have a protective power. It's known that the Black Parliament hold possession or have held possession of it. Yeah, that's about it. It was created several thousand years ago by a great wizard. His name was the Scarlet Scarab.
No, that wasn't it. It wasn't a power. It was it the was it a location? Or oh man. I was saying it over and over in my head so I remember it.
Sorry.
And then
When I post it, you should be able to see the video and be able to pull it out and write it down so you've got it ready for next time.
Okay.
Okay. Rightio. So before we finish for tonight, guys, because I've got to finish now, is there anything you want to ask before we close off for the night? And I'll stop the broadcast.
The only other thing that I would end up doing is if I finish my research before Basilica does, then I will go ahead and research about teleportation and how these people and their theories behind that. Something I can go ahead and see if I can apply science to.
Rightio. So as I said, you're only access level 1 and 2 information.
And that's
so level 1 is more about a description of what it is. Level 2 starts to talk about some of the more commonly accepted methods. So there is sympathetic magic that states that you take something from the area. Other magic states that you have to have seen the area that you want to teleport to. It goes on further that there is one theory that teleportation can only actually happen between certain areas on a planet on things called ley lines. It's that sort of nature of stuff that you get from that sort of investigation.
Well, since I have an idea how I use my gravity powers locally, the idea of trying to go ahead and practice to actually go ahead and do portals or just to teleport in general is not beyond me. But I'm not going to test it out in the library. That would be bad.
Okay.
I'm actually going to, since I can't remember the other thing I was going to look at, she's going to look into more figuring out to using that magic energy folding space thing that she did. How she was able to, basically, like I said, fold space in on itself to create the portal.
Okay.
And I'm
So
going to
she can
watch
do it
her
better.
intently when she
Okay.
starts doing these
Yeah,
experiments.
so your investigation takes you nowhere near teleportation. Your investigation actually takes you. It's not about folding space. It's actually about the magical application of disparitation, which means that you are able to separate parts of your body to a certain distance.
Oh,
It stays
That's-
connected, but you have an intermediate distance that you can go to. Yeah.
okay.
But, and apparently the greatest link that anyone, some person, we'll give him a name, Kelvar, has managed to dispariate his hand from his arm was just under half a mile.
Darn it. This isn't going to get us to that place where the orb is.
No, see, it's okay. You know what? I think we could work together on this
Okay.
because I have an understanding of how my gravity powers work.
Okay.
I think if and your ability to do what you just did is irks me to no end, but at least it gives us a direction that we can go. So I can attempt to go ahead and so we could attempt to try to bridge the distance even further. Like for
Okay.
instance, okay, so like show me. Okay, basically, this is where I'm
Yes,
gonna end up
Centurion.
using that inventing point in order to go ahead and learn the teleportation.
Okay, well, we'll leave it there. So write this down. So this is the point we stop. So I won't go into that now. I've got to go. But
Alright.
yes, Centurion, you do have your full armor repaired. You're about to engage in something. G-Girl, Zortesh, Sonic Smash, and Basilica. You need to decide what you're doing. Ice Rider, I don't know what you're doing. You just hang around waiting for someone to do something.
I'm preparing for travel, like getting food, getting water.
Yeah. Okay. Rightio. So that's where we'll leave it. Everyone's doing a little something of their own.
No problem. Just I wrote it down so we will find it later.
Yep. That's all cool. That's all cool. Okay, guys, we'll have to finish there. Thank you very much. I hope you. It's been. And I know there's no combat, but I hope it's been interesting in some way.
Interesting trying to catch up on exactly what I missed last time.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, no problem. I'm just looking forward to seeing how many experience we're going to end up getting when this whole thing is done.
Well,
I'm
you
more
notice
interested
something
in
else is
seeing-
happening too.
I'm more interested in seeing exactly what happens when I fully realize the power of the armor.
Oh boy.
What other things have been there? Because if Steve remembers my first rendition of the Centurion, it gave him size change, but he sort of had a tendency to lose control.
I'm just looking forward to see what happens when I do my first wormhole.
It will be
Yeah,
fun.
that's not going to be something you want to do.
Yeah, let's do it on somebody
you
else's
think
world. Let's go back to
really,
Wonderland.
really-
And,
I'm
do it
sure
there.
that G girl is smart enough to know not to do a wormhole on the surface of a planet.
We'll see. That's quite possible. Sonic.
That's why I said
Quite
let's
possible.
go back to Wonderland. We've already screwed that place up.
If we go to the wrong, if I make the hole in the wrong spot, you mean?
Who knows? We'll find out more next time. But that's all cool. Okay, ladies and gentlemen,
Yeah.
thank you very much.
Yeah,
I'm going to have to
and-
go. I'll just stop